hear me?
Yes, I can.
Mr. Myers, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to ask you if you would please take off your hat. We are in a court proceeding. This is a small claims case. The title of the case is Stanley Myers versus Lou Ray Gravitt. This is Stanley Ray Myers Sr. It's a claim for $12,000, which exceeds the limit of the small claims court jurisdiction. Jurisdiction in small claims court is limited to $6,500. Neither side is allowed to have an attorney in small claims court. We don't strictly follow the rules of evidence or procedure. Things are relatively informal, but all parties are under oath. There is no appeal from small claims court. Once the ruling is made, there is no appeal. The matter is final. Either party has the right to remove the matter from small claims to the general division of the court. But you have to do that before we start. Mr. Myers, this is your claim. Are you ready to proceed?
Yes.
Ms. Gravitt, are you ready to proceed?
Yes.
All right. Frankly, Mr. Myers, I don't completely understand this. Your claim, she will not give horses back. Sean stole the horses' papers and title to cars. I want my horse and her baby back or pay the value of the horses, $12,000. And here's a picture of some horses. Now, this goes back a long time. Mr. Myers, why do you believe that she owes you $12,000? Oh, first of all, I didn't do this part. Both raise your right hand. Did I do that? Ms. Gravitt?
No, you didn't.
You both swear or affirm any testimony you're about to give in this matter will be true to the best of your knowledge and belief.
Yes.
All right.
I do.
Mr. Myers, you and I go back a long ways, back to where I was judge. What would you like me to know here?
What?
What would you like?
Why do you believe she owes you $12,000 for these two horses?
Because that's what their sentimental values, and that's what I figured they're worth to me.
Well, how did she come to have the horses?
I bought them when they was a young age, and I raised them.
Well, this one horse is 17 years old. When did she take possession of the horses?
What?
When did she take possession of the horses?
Me?
When did Shawnee take possession of the
Oh,
horses?
back two years back in she took back a couple of years ago.
Where were the horses when you had them?
I had them at my farm in Indiana, and they asked. I had them at the farm, and she wanted to take her to have her granddaughter have a horse in 4-H. So I said you could borrow one if you wanted.
Now the horse was pregnant, was it not?
Yes, she was. That colt belongs to my other daughter, Shelley. She had the stud that bred her, and the other colt that she had belonged to her.
Now, these are registered horses, are they not?
Yes, they are.
Who are they registered to?
Well, they was registered to mine, but I heard that Sean illegally signed my name to the papers and then transferred in her name.
What makes you file this claim at this point? Why did you file this claim now? She's had these horses for a number of years.
Well, I've been seeing a psychiatrist before dementia and Alzheimer's, and they just took advantage of me.
Try the.
And when I tried to get them back, she went and had somebody else hook on trailer and haul them out of there. So I had a police report made, because they didn't want me to have them back.
At one time, I believe your family was the largest landowner in LaGrange County. Is that true?
That's possible, yes.
Do you own more acreage than any other family in LaGrange?
Yeah, that was true.
All right, well, let's defer to you. Well, for one thing, you can't sue for this amount of money in small claims court. The most you can get is $6,500. And you have to establish how much the property was worth. You say sentimental value, just slap a value of $6,000 on each horse. But there's more to this.
But I can get documents proving that they're worth that value today.
All right, well, today's the day for the trial. It's not 2 weeks from now or a month from now. The trial is right now.
I know it is.
All right, so Ms. Gravitt, in your answer, you say a lot, including the fact that you have a personal protection order against him and he's not to have any contact with you, and other things that I won't get into right now. But what would you like me to know?
For one thing, the horses are not in my name. I did not illegally sign anything. The signatures on there is his signature. And some of the stuff that you have in that document that you're not bringing up, I feel is the reason why he's trying to come after me for these horses.
All right, he's charged with some criminal offenses in LaGrange County. You're not supportive in that endeavor. Is that
Yes.
correct?
Yes,
And he and I dealt with those same sort of charges here in Michigan
correct.
40 years ago when I was prosecutor. And at some point earlier this year in 2023, you got a personal protection order against him.
Yes, I did.
When did you get these horses?
February of 2021.
And how did you come to get them?
I went to the farm and he helped me load them up, and he told them that I could have them because he was in trouble and he was afraid they were going to take all these horses.
Well, there was only one horse at that time, correct?
No, there was others. Others took other horses.
All right, but I mean, this horse was pregnant. The foal wasn't yet born when you took it, was
No.
it?
No.
So you took just this one horse.
Yes.
What was the horse's name? What was the name of the horse?
Sassy.
So you took Sassy in February of 21 from his farm in LaGrange County. Is that correct?
Yes.
And he helped you load it up?
Yes.
Now, was this a registered horse?
The mare is, yes.
And who is it registered to?
My soon-to-be ex-husband,
What's his name?
Benjamin Gravitt.
She said it was
All right,
registered.
and when the foal was born, the horse was in your possession?
Yes.
And what's the name of that?
She's not registered. They call her Frost.
They registered the horse into Benjamin's name. They transferred it out of your name.
All right, so you got the horse in February of 21 for your granddaughter to use?
Yes.
And did she do that?
Yes, she did.
That's a lie. She never took her 4-H.
Mr. Myers, you just,
Yes,
quiet.
sir.
I'll give you a chance to speak when it's your turn. So your granddaughter used the colt or used the mare
The mare,
for 4-H
yes,
in St. Joe County?
Cass County.
You have to wait your turn. You have to wait your turn.
All right. And during the time you had the horse, did Stanley pay anything for boarding or feeding the horses
No,
or vet bills?
no.
When did you first learn he wanted these horses back?
December of last year.
Tell me about that.
I got a call that he came to my mom's to pick up the horses.
And where is that?
Sturgis, Michigan.
And your mom is Stan's ex-wife?
Yes,
All right. Now he says, well, did Stanley ever ask you for the horses back?
no,
All right. Now he says, well, did Stanley ever ask you for the horses back?
no.
So is the first you knew about it when you got this lawsuit?
Yeah,
When did you file for the personal protection order?
February of this year.
Did that have anything to do with his trying to recover these horses?
No, that was out of other things that accumulated.
So he filed this matter in June. What if he had asked for the return of the horses?
I would have just wanted him to pay for what I paid into her.
Now there's 2 horses.
Yes,
All right. Now he says there were $6,000 apiece, but doesn't have any evidence to that effect. Just that's what he believes. You had given some other estimate regarding each horse. Let's describe the first horse, the mare. Tell me about that horse.
she's basically been just used as a brood mare from him.
But your daughter used it in 4-H?
Yeah, just for pleasure, just a walk and trot on the ground.
How old is the horse?
She's 17.
Does anyone currently ride the horse?
No, she's not good to ride, especially for young kids.
So the horse is just on your property being boarded?
Not on my property, but she is being boarded.
Where is the horse?
She's in Indiana, but I'm not the owner, so I don't know exactly.
All right. So are you currently paying to board or maintain the horse?
I was until my ex took over.
All right. Where is the colt?
Same place.
How did Mr. Gravitt come to own the horses?
Because of everything that's going on with the other issue of with the family and everything. So he put it basically board in her for a trust for my granddaughter because that's originally who she was given to.
Tell me about that. He says you asked if you could have a horse for her to train for 4-H. And he gave you that one, which happened to be pregnant. So you say he gave it to your granddaughter. Tell me about that.
Yes, he did. He had me take her, and I've had her. Well, I haven't had her ever since, but I did have her for a while.
Where is your granddaughter?
She's in Sturgis, Michigan.
How old is she?
She's 11.
Does she have any interaction with these horses anymore?
Yes, she does.
How much do you believe these horses are worth?
They're not even close to even worth $6,000. The colt is just basic halter. She's not very old. She can't be ridden yet. And the mare, you know, from being handled from so many times before and being a brood mare and stuff, you know, you can ride her for a little bit and then she throws fits.
All right, well, you told me how much you don't think they're worth. How much do you think they are worth?
If you go by trying to buy one at the sale or anything, most of the registered horses are only going for $500, and untrained and unregistered ones maybe about $200. Which I tried to get.
What sale are you talking about?
Ships on a sale.
Per kill.
So have you bought and sold horses at the Shipshewana auction?
I have in the past.
And are you a horse person?
Yes, I am.
You've owned and trained horses in the past?
Yes, I have.
Do you own any horses now?
I have minis. I sold my horses.
But so you have bought and sold horses in the past.
Yes.
How much do you think it cost you to maintain these horses for the 2 years that you had them?
Well, boarding is $15 a day. And then you got the cost to pay. If you have vet bills, they got to be wormed. You know, guessing probably $400 a month for 2 horses. That's my guess, you know, guessing without actual figuring.
$400 per month per horse or for both horses?
No, both horses. And that's at a lower end, I was told.
Well, that math doesn't come out right. $15 times 30 days. It's $450 just at $15 a day per horse.
Okay. I was told $15 a day where they're being boarded.
All right. Told by who?
The owner.
Mr. Gravitt?
Yeah.
And he's now bearing that cost.
Yes.
Now, you said that he said he thought they were going to take his horses because he got in some trouble. Did it have to do with the maintenance of the horses?
It has for what he's pending in court right now.
But that didn't have anything to do with the horses directly.
It
wasn't like cruelty to animals or that sort of thing.
He did have for illegal for foxes, and he had a deer.
All right. Did the Indiana authorities seize any of his horses?
He says that they killed one on the property, and that he's afraid that the county was going to take all his horses at that time.
All right. Mr. Myers,
Yes, sir.
you say you felt that she took advantage of you.
Yes, I did.
Well, did you want your great granddaughter to have a horse to use?
Yeah, but I did. But she said she's going to put him 4-H. She never took him. She lied about that because she never put that horse in 4-H that year. And as far as being broke, that mare, I wouldn't loan a horse to anybody that wasn't broke the best. And she's lying about that because everybody was riding that mare.
Well, once again, why do you want these horses back at this juncture?
Because I raised her from a colt and I got kind of fond of her.
Yeah, you're not suing for return of the horse. You're suing for money.
Well, I know.
This is small claims court, and I can't order the return of the horse. That's a separate kind of action. It's called claim and delivery, and that's a general civil matter. This is small claims court. The only remedy is money. So,
but the thing of it was, I was just up to Mount Pleasant. Each one of them mares would have brought more than that a piece in their condition the way they are.
at a horse sale in Mount Pleasant?
Yes, they did. Mount Pleasant, they had a fall sale there. And the cheapest horse sold there was $3,000, the very cheapest one. And I can get you documents to prove that.
Well, like I said, today's the day for the trial. Now, does she get any consideration for feeding, boarding, medical, treating these horses?
No.
I mean, it was an expense for her to keep the horse.
The agreement was when she borrowed the horse that she would take care of all that and it wouldn't cost me nothing.
All right, so you got some benefit by her taking care of the horse.
Right. You know, like I said, and I thought her granddaughter would have benefits by, borrowing the horse. But as it turned out, she never rode the horse. She never took the horse in 4-H or nothing like they said they was going to do.
Well, she said she took it into Cass County 4-H.
She never had her signed up for 4-H that year. You can get documents proving that.
Well, that's not up to me.
Oh, I know it's not.
All right. So you unburden yourself from these horses and you say you bought, nothing was put in writing on either side, correct?
Right.
So you say you lent the horses to her. She said she borrowed them. Or, I mean, you say she borrowed them. She says you gave them to her.
No, I never gave them to her. I loaned them to her. And as far as me being in trouble, I signed a note for $10,000 for her that she never paid for. So money was no object at that time.
All right. So did you know the horse was pregnant when you loaned it to her?
Yeah, what?
She stole your titles. Your titles. But he asked you a question.
Did you know the horse was pregnant?
Yes, I did, because my other daughter had her bred to her registered stud. So I either got to give her that colt back or I got to pay her $1,000 for the colt.
Why did you give her a pregnant horse?
Well, because she was very gentle and, she was very gentle for little kids. And that was the best thing I had on the farm. And I didn't give it to her. I loaned it to her.
Was there any agreement for what was going to happen when the colt was born?
No, there was no agreement other than I was to give it back to my other daughter.
All right, is there anything else you want me to know?
Anything else you want him to know?
Yeah, I would like to know how Mr. Gravitt signed my name to the red papers to get him transferred, to get him registered in his name. You know, that's illegal for him to sign my name to transfer papers. And for him to have them in his name, they illegally signed my name to him, which is not in your court, yes.
Well, that's, how did the horse get in Mr. Gravitt's name? No, I'm asking Sean.
They got a
Just a minute.
I thought you were still talking to him. I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry.
I'm not sure. As far as I know, he signed it, and it looks like it's his signature. You guys have it. It was emailed to you guys. You guys have the paperwork of the transfer.
I don't know where it is.
Yeah, he sent
I
the,
have your answer that somebody helped you prepare. Who helped you draw that up?
my attorney's secretary.
Okay. But how did he get into this? It was given to you and your granddaughter. You're divorcing him, and somehow the horse got in his name. Stanley didn't transfer it to Mr. Gravitt. I want to say Bob, but I know that's not right. That's his dad. What's his first name?
Benjamin.
Benjamin. Stanley didn't transfer it to Benjamin. Somehow you did. How did that happen?
I didn't transfer it at all. He had signed transfer papers.
He who?
Benjamin did. And this happened before we end up being that we was going to separate and divorce.
So he signed transfer papers, but Stanley never signed them. Is that correct?
Stanley did and Benjamin did. Both signatures are on there. And Benjamin took over it because of the threats and everything that was given to me from some other stuff. So he felt that he was going to handle all that. And that's his granddaughter too.
Okay, so did he go meet with Stanley and get that signed?
This, as far as I know, it was something was already drawn up.
Drawn up by who?
Both of them.
Stanley and Benjamin.
Yep.
Well, it'd sure be nice if I could find it. Kim, supposedly we got an email from Benjamin Gravitt to the 3B civil address. When did he do that?
I don't know. It could have been today. Could have been this morning. I don't know.
Well, there's some pages missing from that story, because he gives the horse or lends or gives the horse to you and your granddaughter. Somewhere after you and your granddaughter get it, Benjamin Gravitt signs the transfer papers. And so Stanley says, I never signed any transfer papers. Well, no, if he never sent it, if he said he did, he didn't do it. So I don't have it. 3B civil or 3B criminal. We never got the transfer papers. So Mr. Myers, did you
Yes,
ever
sir.
have any discussion about the ownership of these horses with Benjamin Gravitt?
Well, see, what the part was, Shawnee and Benjamin was living with me at the time, and they stole the quarter horse papers from me. I was never of knowledge of them having them papers to begin with. So I didn't know they had the papers until after I filed the paperwork with you guys on this court matter.
Did you and Benjamin ever discuss this?
No, sir, we did not. I've never talked to Benjamin after they left my place. I've never talked to him since.
All right. Mr. Myers, you're the plaintiff. I'll give you the last word. Is there anything else you want to tell me?
What?
Anything else you want to tell him? You got the last word.
No, I had never, far as Shawnee, I have never threatened her or nothing other than that. You know, I've never done none of that. She's just making all that up so she could steal this stuff off of me.
Well, these horses, there's no evidence that they're worth $6,000 a piece. They're possibly worth $1,000 a piece.
But the thing of it is, she is saying that's what Chippewa market is, but that's a kill price market. And they're low. They're not the good quality horses that mare was.
All right, well, all I have is your word versus her word. I don't have a horse
Right.
expert or anyone from the market or any sort of
I should have brought
sales
documents to
transactions.
that.
So you both have bought and sold horses in the past, but there's no paperwork. So if I find the horses are worth $1,000 a piece, she also had boarding and veterinary bills for the horses. This is something that wouldn't necessarily be put in writing. It's a father and a grandfather and a granddaughter, or father and daughter. And then all the wheels fell off, and now it turns into a personal protection order and a small claims case. This isn't really about the horses. This is about getting back at her for other things.
No,
Yeah,
I'm
the
not
horses-
trying to get, I'm not
the
trying to get
horses-
back at her.
Are an afterthought. So if we put the horses value at $1,000 a piece, she has to maintain the horses, and her prices are not realistic either. I will split that each in 1/2. So I don't really know what the right answer in this matter is, but $1,000 per horse, you're going to split it. So that's $500 per horse, which means, Sean, you owe them $1,000 and you keep the horses. You don't even have the horses. You've transferred them to someone else. So you owe $1,083.59.65 in costs, $1,143.15. All right, she owes you $1,000 plus court costs. The horses, I'm not ordering the horses be returned. That's a separate action. All right, you have 21 days to pay that, Miss Grant. $1,000 plus $143.15 in costs. All right, we'll send that out. The clerk will put it together. I never did get the document you said was sent, so he apparently didn't send it. All right, this matter is completed.